Does anybody know about growing, corn in Western Washington where it's cool? Corn needs a lot of heat.
Yeah.
And if you look at corn, they're usually really tall. You follow me? I want you to observe this corn over here and pay attention to the amount of ears that are already formed on that short corn. That is phenomenal. And Nick, you said there were 5 ears on one stalk?
Yeah, on one plant.
On one plant there were 5 ears. This is off the charts. At best you get 2. So everybody hear me? Where you get this seed, this is called spring corn, and it comes from a place called Fedco Seeds in Maine. This is amazing, the production. It's totally off the charts.
What's the variety?
Spring. It's called spring, and it comes from Fedco in Maine. Really an awesome variety.
We're going to have to go.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your
Well, thank you.
ministry.
Bless you. All
And
right.
I'll see you again this summer.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, when you first started putting wood chips down, the first few years, did you have issues with it growing?
Yeah, everything's been progression. When I first started, it was weak, and every year it gets better. It's a constant improvement.
I'm in my second year on where I'm growing now. Things that I planted last year that didn't come up, came up this year, and grew phenomenally. Things that I planted this year came up, died off, or came up and took forever to take off. Squash took 2 months to start producing squash, which is kind of out of the ordinary.
But it was cool this year. I noticed we had a warm, we had some warm weather in March was unusual, but April was really cool. So there's so many variables. But what I'm seeing here, just after being here 40 years, is that nutrient density is huge.
Right.
And every year, my produce improves. And sometimes you lose things. It's okay. Just replant.
Well, it's frustrating because I only have 150 square feet.
Well, yeah, just do what you can. And I'm finding what really helps is being thankful. The scripture says, in everything give thanks. In everything give thanks. Father, thank you. That failed, but I have this. And just don't focus on what you lost. Focus on what you have.
Yeah, I put all these plants in this lady's garden bed, and we put heather in there, and all the heather died. So anyway, she's like, "Oh, I want more heather." I said, "I'm not putting heather back in there. It's going to die. It doesn't like the
conditions here.
Everything else is thriving. I'm going to throw some wood chips on it."
Let me tell you about heather. This is I think it will help some of you. We live in the country here, and we have a septic system. All of our wastewater goes into a big tank and then goes into a drain field. We had some friends on a battleground, Oregon, who built this beautiful home for themselves, and the county designed a mound system. They designed it and specified the type of sand to fill it with, and they spent $12,000 to do this drain field, and it failed. Water's leaking out the top. The county, in their kindness, required them at their expense to remove all that material and use another grade of sand, scrapping all the piping below, and do it all at their expense. This was the county's ruling. Are you following me? So they called me. I went down and said, "I'll tell you, we'll fix this." We covered the whole mound with wood chips. I got Mediterranean Peak heather, and we planted 1-gallon plants in the whole thing. And this thing is gorgeous today. Instead of this ugly, funky mound of sand, it's totally covered with wood chips. Gorgeous Mediterranean Peak heather covering the whole thing, and it's not leaking, and didn't fail. The county came back and they inspected. No water. You're good. And it cost them nothing for the wood chips. They had to pay a few dollars for the 1-gallon plants. But I'm telling you, wood chips are amazing for displacing water. They're totally off the charts. Incredible. I had experience here. You see, when I built a log house, we had 3 children. We eventually got 7. So I did an addition over here. But when we came here, we're in Jefferson County, and this soil is heavy clay, and we barely passed to have a conventional drain field, conventional septic system with a 2-bedroom house. So when I built this house, I wanted to expand my drain field. I said, "Oh no, you can't do that. We got to do a mound system." I says, "I'm not going there. Mound systems are a failure. You have to have pumps that can fail, and the whole thing is disastrous. I'm not doing it." So the law in Washington State, what makes a bedroom is a closet. So I have a 5-bedroom house that's labeled at the county as a 2-bedroom house because I only have 2 closets. So the county's obviously mad. So they sent the health department out here. And I says, yeah, let's check it out. You can see my drain field. You can see those 3 lines of grass over there, much thicker, and it goes into my herb garden. So I dug down, and I exposed the rock in the pipe. I says, where's the water going? We know it's not going down because it's blue clay. Where's it going? And they're in total shock. They couldn't answer. So they sent an engineer out here. We're talking an engineer. And I says, I want to show you something interesting here. So this is like in the wintertime. I took him on the outside of my fence there, and we dug a hole. In 8 inches, there's water running. It's not just standing. There's actually water running at 8 inches in my blue clay. He came into my orchard, and he dug 1.5 feet down and couldn't find water. Did you hear me? For the water to get there, it had to come through this. This is downhill. And the engineer is flipping out. He says, you are onto something. I says, wood chips are amazing for displacing water. He says, this is incredible. This is the engineer. And he's blowing his mind. There, at 8 inches of standing water, above grade where it came from, 1.5 feet deep, he can't find it. It's awesome. You know, and he just says, this is huge. But before they'll ever do it, they'll have to do a scientific study, spend millions of dollars to try to validate that it works, even though they saw that it worked. So it'll probably not happen. But it's just so pathetic. So if you ever have a drain field failing, just do wood chips. Don't ever redo it. Just cover wood chips and you're good. It's awesome. I love the creator. You look at nature. You know, let me show you how powerful wood chips are. You know, just down the road here, 70 miles down the road, we have the whole rainforest. You know how much water it gets a year? 14 feet of annual rainwater. Yeah. 14 feet. Now, 14 feet of water, you know what it looks like on the ground? That's a pond. You'll see my film. The girls are in the forest. They're walking on the ground. It's not soggy. It's not boggy. There's no standing water. Those wood chips with no brain are displacing 14 feet of water a year. You know how they do it? They bring it to the surface and it evaporates. They pull it up and it evaporates. And in my place where I have no water, the same wood chips retract it and hold it in the ground. I don't know about you, but when they're talking about not intelligent design, I'm thinking, you are insane. This is beyond intelligent. This is a completely inanimate object. When there's excess water, displaces it. When there's lack of water, retains it with no mind. I don't know about you, but this gets my attention. This is one amazing designer, creator.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Bless you.
And it's simple.
I love Simple. You know what's so cool about Simple? It's a safe place. You can't get lost there. Really. You can't get lost with Simple. It's safe. So let's go head over to the herb garden.
Is this your first one? This is your first bed here?
No.
Where you started?
Oh, this is my first garden, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what was pathetic? I was tilling this for 17 years when I had the orchard working great. I'm serious. I was totally stupid. Really.
You were tilling this.
Tilling this.
And you
And I'll tell you what happened to me, how it changed. It was hilarious. I'm out here one day setting my string. You know, I put a stick down to make a straight line.
Yeah.
And I'm hitting this hard pan at 6 inches. I said, now God, what's up to this? I've been bringing in truckloads of organic material, tilling this. How come my hard pan's not breaking up? And he got totally silent. He wouldn't talk to me. Like loud, silent. He says, go out in the orchard and weed. I says, really? Yeah, just go out in the orchard and weed. So when I'm out there, he says, why don't you start moving that wood chips and see how deep it goes? I'm down to my elbow in this gorgeous black compost and I'm flipping out. I'm screaming. I'm saying, there's something wrong with this picture. I've been killing myself to get to the garden. I don't have it. He says, well, it works in your garden the same way. He didn't ask. I was so mad, I threw that tiller away and started covering my garden with wood chips. And 3 years into it, it was so cool. I'm out here pushing that stick down, and I get this impression, give it a push. And I gave it a push, and it broke loose. I thought, wow, the hard pan's breaking up. And simultaneously, there's a robin over here pulling out worms. And here's what the Spirit told me. I sent those worms to break up your hard pan, and you kept killing them with the tiller. Now you're not killing them, they're breaking your hard pan. And I started to cry. I thought, here in my insanity, I'm trying to make good soil, and I'm destroying it. Totally destroying it.
Wow.
Not realizing what I'm doing. It was not knowing.
It is absolutely amazing.
It's incredible. I sent those worms to break up your hard pan. You kept killing them with the tiller.
Soil I'm growing on, you couldn't get a pickaxe into
Yeah.
it in the summertime.
Well, if you go behind my house over here, mine's the same way.
Well, 6 months after doing it, I could push my
I know.
finger
Don't you love
to
it?
the knuckle.
And you'll find that it just keeps improving. Gets deeper. It doesn't end. I mean, I love God. It's just, God's not static. He's not static. And all he does is multiplication.
Well, my first year I put 8 inches of wood chips down. At the end of that year I had this much left.
Awesome.
I had to put another 3 inches this year.
You know why? The soil was hungry.
Yeah.
And it ate it up. You know what I'm finding here? This is so cool. See, as I'm getting older, I'm not as capable to do things I used to, but I'm finding that I don't need to. You see, because my soil is so nutrient dense, I don't have to add wood chips anymore because they're maintaining. Because my soil's not hungry. My soil's not hungry. It doesn't need to eat much. It's very satisfied. When I first came, it was weak. It was just breaking down fast because it was really hungry. I'm thinking, like, this is so cool. I love it.
Well, that's all I have for this video. Bang around that bell icon if you want to be notified when new videos come out. Call us on the hotline if you have comments or questions and want to be featured in an upcoming video. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Check us out on the website, and we'll see you guys on the next one.